Corruption is a cancer, is a disease that deprives countries and people in countries. And also, it drains countries of their economy. It misplaces the economy, and it creates problem for people in the country, deprive them of their rights. And I think if Africans fight corruption and they see that their economies are managed properly, there'll be a lot of peace because it will bless a lot more people.
Again, I'm still here on the project, building capacity around my mouth, but I got something to back it up. What do you think? Let's discuss it.
Corruption is a cancer, is a disease that deprives countries and people in countries of their rights. And also, it drains countries of their economy. It misplaces the economy, and it creates problem for people in the country, deprive them of their rights. And I think if Africans fight corruption and they see that their economies are managed properly, there'll be a lot of peace because it will bless a lot more people.
Encore une autre fidèle qui l'Amérique n'a pas loupé nous. Quand il y a Sylvie, il y a quoi qui j'ai loupé presse. L'Amérique n'a pas loupé. T'as bien de moi avec moi en ce moment. On va battre au moins néo. Mon temps d'hier, t'as mon mouillé. On s'est battu pour moi, il pleure. Abela lo kan yo. Ka go so di o. Hey. Awaye. Ati o lo a. Yao. Abela lo kan yo. Níbi tó jọba yìí. Níbi tó yànba. Máa ti sì mọ̀ pé yo. Máa jẹ́ jíjí. Wọ́n pè jamais forcé o. Si tu connais. L'animateur Choco Noska Yassin de Toyebi. L'homme a tout fait pour Mivito. Aniché les deux.
Corruption is a cancer, is a disease that deprives countries and people in countries of their rights, and also it drains countries of their economy. It misplaces the economy, and it creates problem for people in the country, deprive them of their rights. And I think if Africans fight corruption and they see that their economies are managed properly, there'll be a lot of peace because it will bless a lot more people.
Good evening, folks. Samson to LeBron Public Radio. I want to thank all of you again for tuning in to LeBron Public Radio. All we can ask you to do is please share this video as much as you can. Share it to as many people as you can, because we need for brothers and sisters to turn in and watch. Thank you for tuning in again tonight. It's a wonderful Monday afternoon. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming, and we appreciate it. Safety, Lord Jesus. We want to ask you again this evening to continue to bless us, to continue to strengthen us. Thank you, my Lord. Thank you for all you do for us. Thank you. Because of you, we are here. Just imagine, every day, even in your sleep, we are in your hands. We get up in the morning to go to work, we're in your hands. We get behind the wheel, we're in your hands. There's nothing we do on this earth from the time we're born that we are not in your hand. And because of your steady hand, because of your continuing blessing on us, we say thank you. Thank you, my Lord. Thank you for everything. If I stay here tonight again to continue to preach, I can be here all night and just express myself and say thank you. But thank you for everything. My Lord, we ask that you bless the Republic of Liberia. You bless the people of the Republic of Liberia. Bless the leadership of the Republic of Liberia. Bless President Wakai, the President of the Republic of Liberia. Whatever he touches, my Lord, we ask that you bless his hand. He's doing it in the interest of the Liberian people. My Lord, we sit here again tonight to ask you for mercy. My Lord, President Wakai put his hand up and said, I want to lead. You guide him through. We put him in your hands again tonight. Guide his process. Guide whatever it is that he's doing, that he'll be successful. My Lord, we ask that you bless the people of the Republic of Liberia. Bless the leadership of the Republic of Liberia. Whatever it is that is happening in the country, we'll put that in your hand. Because we know with you, everything is possible. And we put that in your hand. We pray that you will find solution for us. My Lord, we ask that you bless the host country, the United States of America. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Sister Rita, good evening to you. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate it. Thank you for your continued watching and support to Liberia Public Radio. Again, folks, Samson told Liberia Public Radio. I'm here again this evening to talk about Tabata. Jerry has just been joining us. Jerry, when you're ready, just put your thumb up and we'll bring you in. Again, folks, please share this video. Share this video as much as you can. Share this video to as many Liberians as you can. So the issue of flaunt will be the topic of the night. I try to shy away from it. I try to stay away from it, but this is becoming much, much more of an issue that perhaps if we don't have a resolve, it's going to cripple the economy. It's going to cripple the workability of our country. It's going to cripple a lot of stuff. Jerry, you ready? Just put your thumb up. Okay, he's ready. Okay, Jerry, thank you very much for joining us again tonight. We appreciate it. No, I'm just saying, my Tabata tonight, I think that we will have to go a little bit deeper on the Flantikofa situation on LPR here tonight. Discuss what we know and what we don't know. I think it's important that these people bring this thing on a quick resolution, find quick resolution to bring it under control. Because if this thing linger on for long, it's going to affect the ability of our people to move around. Because these are people, lawmakers, they control the purse. The government of the Republic of Liberia, my opinion, will not be able to work effectively without the lawmakers involved. And the lawmakers need to be together for us to move things together. However, I am going to take some senator view here tonight against the lawmaker. I might be ridiculous here, but I will try my best to be a little ridiculous than usual, because these are very important things. But I think I will ask my partners that are going to be joining me here tonight. Let's go a little bit deeper into the Flantikofa thing here. Jerry, thank you for joining me. That is what is on my plate tonight. What's on your plate, sir?
I mean, it's the same thing. I mean, I have received anyway. Good evening to our listener. Okay, 2%. Anyway, these are our people regular listener all the time. So and Carol, but it's important, like you alluded to. It's a national issue in our country, and the more we drag it, it's going to cause our economy to crumble. What Mr. Boyka had worked for, or what he working for, or what he just came from abroad, from here. You were here, then you were in Rhode Island, United Nations, then whatever he been, then he went to what the place, Italy. So it is important for us to come up with resolution, because if we don't do it expeditiously, it's going to cause a lot of chaos in our country, our judicial system, our national security, our national economy, transportation, you need everything. It is important that we come up with a resolution, and we'll find sense for us, so we'll find means for us to deal with it. And I had different view on the issues, on the representatives, the behavior, the attitude, and there's a lot to discuss. And they have to be a mature people for them to come to a solution, or else it's crippling the country.
Thank you. I think I will be going here and there on this subject matter, but I think one of the things, those brothers and sisters that join the quarrel to remove Flantikofa, what perhaps they misread is that Liberia and Liberians are not the same group of Liberia and Liberians during the removal of George Dewey during the removal of Edwin Snow and during the removal of Alex Tyler. Liberians today are paying close attention. Liberians today have a media institution, people way in one place. They can access me, they can access Liberia Public Radio right now and watch me through their phone. So it is not that whatever you do in Monrovia is no longer in Hayden. Everything you do is all over the world. And I think they misread the process, and perhaps they believe that if they don't go to or don't have a quorum, that will force the hand of Flanty Kofa to resign. And I don't believe Flanty Kofa going to resign anyhow. However, Jerry, for me, this come as a right time for us as Liberians. When it happened to George Dewar, when it happened to Armo Snow, when it happened to Armo Tyler, those days Liberian was not much engaged. And so their attention were not actually focused on those issues. Today, as we speak, this is the topic people talk about down waterside. This is the topic as women cooking behind the house. This is the topic. And the interesting thing is, many Liberians, I believe, there's two things I believe that is going on in many Liberians of ageable people now. During 2005 election, I'm going back to that time. Because what we're having right now started from the 2005. During the election, when they came out to have the election, the interim government, the electoral process itself was not that expensive as it is now. The electoral process, I start trouble already. I will not even say no link. How you look at Jerry and say independent backer? That trouble is looking for already, Walter Cutter. Man, I will not even say the link to that. Stay there and watch. I will not pick on your course. Yeah, man, you ready to start trouble. But anyway, let me go back to that, Jerry. I truly believe that the 2005 election, if real patriotic, educated Liberians that understood the law, that understood the process of legislative, I think if they had gotten involved to sacrifice, and the funny thing about that, Jerry, is this: many of those people that went home were people that were here in the diaspora, that were having meetings over before 20 years or so, having meetings from state to state, city to city, seeking the interests of Liberia. They had plans, but as soon as they open it up for true election, one man, one vote, every one of those people wanted to be president of the Republic of Liberia. They did not envision that the law-making process is where the brain should have been. It's where the patriot Liberians should have been. They didn't do that. They thought either being a president or become a minister in the government would have served them more. They left from here and they all focus their energy on being the president. Or go and form a political party, register, and then when you don't win, then the president, you throw your weight behind the people who you're going to win when they win, they make you minister. They refuse because of their short-sightedness, because of their selfish behavior. And that's the same thing here when they were here back in the 80s. The same thing. They were very selfish. I was young at the time. When I came back for the second time, I got out because when they refused me to play soccer at Malone College, I got out of football business. I was still playing, but it was not like where it was when I was in Rhode Island. When I was in Rhode Island, I took soccer business, put on my mold. You know that I was in Montreal. Like Montreal, you playing round town football. That's what it was. And the fact that I had a car, I could go to Connecticut, I could go places and play. It didn't matter. Guess what? Why I was doing that? Mama Musa at Connecticut going to college. The smart man today, they were going to college. As a college, they got a master's degree. While I was still fooling around. But when I came back the second time, I decided to get myself, because of certain thing that brought me back, pulls me back here. So my whole focus now changed. I wanted to find out what was happening with the Liberian politics. So I started hooking up with those people for EULA. And most of the time we go to the EULA meeting. If it's not me, it can't be you. That was a mentality. When we go, there's a organization in Ohio called Folao. I'm one of the founding members of Folao. What do we do when we gathered that time in Cleveland, Ohio? Tim Ciclo then was one of the founding members. What do we do? Instead of bringing in the brain, I brought the idea, so I should lead Folao. When the time came, after some time, Minnesota, I know by that time you probably were here. Look what a mess that was happening in Minnesota, accusing each other of stealing money. In Minnesota, it was a mess. When Carter Carper, whatever his name was, the guy was there. It was a mess. Bringing everything, war business, everything into that. When the Minnesota white people want to recognize the black community, why the Somalians were fighting. And I think Sissy know more about it. Sissy can speak more about it because he lives over there. Why the Somalians were organizing themselves. Liberian was tearing themselves apart in Minnesota. Writing all kinds of junk about each other on what they call chicken. What's the name? Some kind of, there was a newspaper at chicken something, man. A rooster or something like that, but it was in Minnesota. That's the same mentality they had. 2005, when they opened up the election, everybody went over there. They wanted to be president or wanted to be minister. Why would you want to be a representative? These young people, during Taylor time, that were hustling, digging go here. When the war meet you, you run away. You save your little money, you run away. Digging diamond here. When the war meet you, you run away. You live, that's fine. When time came, 2005, those little young people who had little understanding, little education, whatever, they want to be representative. So little people want to be president, let them go. They went in the House of Representatives. The so-called big people who they're known for the world, they don't have the opportunity in the want to be president, they want to go into. If you watch the 2005 election, you will see that the Senate had little bit educated people. I'm not saying the House didn't have it at the time, but when those people got together, they started passing law to it. Once they find out, in fact, the first thing they did was they sent them to Ghana to learn how to make law. I don't know if you remember this here. To learn how to make law, they went to Ghana. They came back. They started passing law to enrich themselves. And worst of all, President Salih, because when those guys came from Ghana, when they came back from Ghana, they recognized their power quickly. And President Salih being thrust out there by the international community as someone who respects democracy, as someone who have an economic economy, wanted to obey the rule, which was okay. And those guys then wants to recognize their power of the purse. They started putting their foot down on all kinds of stuff. Madam Salih decided, okay, they broke. The brown bag business started. There was a video during Madam Selling time when she was on that when she was having that press conference. Some guy came with a brown envelope, push it to her. She pushed it back. You think who's stupid? Those are the things. That's what we're paying for today. Those are the things we're paying for. After the guys, then they begin, they enrich themselves. They have the money now, Jerry. Once the Liberian educated diaspora realize, oh my goodness, we can go in our country and go in a house and go other places to be able to help. They got some of them when they go over there to run campaign, they don't have money. The boys they got money. All they have, and they start buying people cheeky soup, cup of red, sardine, and things like that. They vote for you. This is what the result here. And so, Jerry, I'm just saying here, I could be wrong, but I'm just saying this whole thing here is good that it's happening right now. Liberians are now going back and say, oh, my goodness. Because when 2005 was like start fresh. Liberians, after the war, they were so tired, they were willing to start fresh. But the greedy people came into power and they decided they were going to do things for themselves. I'll give you another example, then I can let you come in because I will go on with that line for a while. There was an incident. I most likely you might know about this. The police academy, when they were doing their training, they put a bid out for catering business. Honor Madam Sally, for catering business. Honor Madam Sally. They said the lady that won the bid, Madam Sally friend, left from America, went over there, have not done anything before, but she saw that the catering business was going to give her more money. She went, they took that business from that woman. It was in the newspaper. I read it. Dry face took the business from that woman and give it to Madam Sally friend to do the police academy catering business for the people that were going to be on training. This thing's still happening. Jerry, it's a sad day for us, but hopefully this will be a teachable moment for all of us. I don't know when we're going to get out of this thing. You cannot sit down and say, "Oh, I wish we'll have the Gerald Rowling type in Liberia." No, those days are over. We just have to pray. We leave our own with God. What say you, Jerry? That's just a little bit of my tabata tonight. Go ahead, Jerry.
Yes, sir. Yeah, you see, there are a lot of stuff that going on. I mean, you alluded to some of them. But here's the thing. Like we said, 2005, or one of those, I was in a political party. We thought we could make a difference. But at that time, it was a virgin land. After the war, post-war, 2005 election, anybody could have ran to become a representative or senator because at that time, it is not as expensive as it is today. Because few people who were knowledgeable or have ideas how the process of government works was not interested in running for representative position. Most of them wanted to be president. And at that time, only one person, and in fact, let me go back a little bit. There's a sad mistakes that we are making in our country, especially our birth country, Liberia. The people who control the country is the legislature and the Senate. They have to pass a bill before the president can function. They are the person who allocated money before the president can do it. And we all focus on is to be the president of that nation. No, it is not. But that's what we have right now. That's what we're going to deal with until we can ratify it or until we can find means of eradicating it. That's what we have. Look at the bills they pass in this country. Representative making 1,000, let me say 1,005, 15,000 some more dollars a month. That's a base salary. They get cards. They get a scratch card. You in this country, Where in this country, in the United States of America, I mean, the place of poor country, let's be realistic. Every time we come big here, okay? But the representative and senator making that huge amount of money who get in cars. No. When they hire you with the Californian Department of Engineering, they say, Mr. To, we'll pay you $150,000 a year. That's it. That's it, $150,000 a year. The way you pay for your car, the way you support your children, the way you pay your insurance, the way you pay for your house, everything at $150,000 a year. That's it. Comparing to us, they got all the incentive in the world. But you have my focus tonight. This will be my focus. This is going to be my talking point when it comes to the speaker. And the speaker is wounded. He's bleeding right now because I watched the opposition who want to take the speaker out of power. There were 38 today. I think
Jerry, can you please allow me just hold your thought a minute? Let me welcome Mr. Amos George, who's watching us again tonight. Mr. George, thank you. We're praying for you as well. Thank you for watching and welcome. Go ahead, Jerry. Go ahead, Jerry.
So there were 38 today when they're doing the press conference. I watch it. And they have 5 other committed people that are willing to, who are asking, but it's remain to be seen. But you know what? Tomorrow is a D-Day. Tomorrow going to be a D-Day. What do I call it a D-Day? Whereby the current speaker will be presenting his case, and the opposition who want to overthrow or taking from out of power, they all going to meet or whatever session they're going to be in. And the argument today is that they don't have confidence in anymore. So how he govern? So these are things. But how he govern? If you don't have
no, go ahead. Go ahead.
How you govern when 38 members of your could you say they don't have confidence in vote of confidence? So it remains to be seen. How you gonna play out? And we let's get your popcorn and get a soda and put it down.
Yeah.
Let's see how,
but this is what I see on this, Jerry. If it was just on normal doing business to say we have no confidence in a speaker if they had done it correctly by the book.
Well, what do you mean? What do you mean if they do it correctly? How this was?
Hold on. I'm coming. And see, this is what we do here on Labra Public. You and I, we have the ability to compartmentalize. We also have the ability to disagree without, on the other two people, when they disagree with each other, they always fire each other. So we know that. But that you must say we don't do that. But yet, no, on a very serious note, Jerry. What I mean by this is there are now rumors of money being changing hands, money being infused into this conversation. Now, that's what I mean if they have done it correctly and done it differently. If they were to come out, the Flandikofa is not in town today or tomorrow. If they had gone out without even making any noise, tomorrow you meet, you have your resolution on the floor, and stuff like that. That would have been different. Now, with the fact that rumors and speculations are out there that there's been money change hand, Flandikofa can say, I'm not going to resign. If we don't have quorum, let's stay like that. And the international community will back Flandikofa and they will not put pressure on him. The President Waka administration will not put pressure on Kofa to resign because of the money issue. And so since the money have changed hands, if these people have a good advisor, a good political guru like myself, I will tell them, forget everything, let's start all over. the issue they raise about Flanty Kofa, if those issues are true, they're not going to go away overnight. Other Flanty Kofa, if those issues are true, Flanty Kofa will immediately withdraw himself from that law firm. That one, they will have succeed. The success of Flanty Kofa withdraw himself from that will be count one successful, argue correctly. But if they come in tomorrow and say, we say no, they're not going to win. Flanty Kofa will not resign because of the money issue. And as long as Flanty Kofa have the backing of this administration, have the backing of the CDC hierarchy, have the backing of the international community, have the backing of ECOWAS, Flanty Kofa is going nowhere. In fact, if those people leave, because this administration is not going to violate the law either, they'll just do business by going through executive order. President Baka can just operate his whole administration for the next 6 years through executive order. And there's nothing they can do about it. And Flanty Kofa are going to sit down there with the 30 some old people and continue to draw a check. You can't fire him because he's still the speaker. He might not have the quorum to do business, but he will continue to stay in there. He come here again tonight, Ngapo saying Gary, I enjoy him. I said, who brought you here now? They are saying, let me bring in Sissy. I don't even know if I want to bring him, but I got to bring it anyway. He come, yeah. Sissy, let me enjoy myself. I truly want to enjoy myself. Let me enjoy myself.
I hear you pushing the Funati gospel. So Funati 3:16. Let me hear you.
Yeah.
I gave you a revelation and post saying
that's why I getting prepared. I getting because listen, you're talking about
Funati 3:16. What is
Dr. Malley and Mr. Alfonso Zionso. Y'all need to watch this show tonight. Oh, here he comes. Here he comes. I even call it in 2 minutes. He's not going to join it. There we go. He's trying to come and watch the show. You and your man, you will not touch any of my thing here tonight. I tell you right now, you and your man, you will not touch any of my thing. I will not see anything appear here that I'm put on. Okay. But let me go. Dr. Malley, good evening. Thank you, Sissy. Good evening. Dr. Malley, you can't eat on the show.
They think I'm fast. They think I'm breaking fast.
No, but you got Liberians watching up from Liberia. They're hungry.
Go in the corner for now. When you finish eating,
Dr. Malley.
So because Liberian people hungry, Dr. Malley put them in the real front you.
No.
Go in the corner for now. When you eating,
my co-host, I'm pack you in the corner for now.
And you real put man. Let me draw far away from you. Yeah, I don't want to be near you. I don't want to get
back. This is Samson told us properly what we're having fun. But let me continue with that. Tabata. Flanty Kofa will not resign, and those people they stand on thin ice. They don't have the kinds of support that if they have not involved money business in this. Because the kinds of things they're accusing Flanty Kofa for, those are legitimate reasons to not have confidence in the speaker. But when you infuse money into this kinds of stuff, when you go back to do it a total way, then you have issues. So, Jerry, let me go to Sissy. Sissy, good evening. Thank you. What's on your plate? Or you care to? I don't care for you to discuss it. Bring your own subject. Bring your own subject, man. Speak for yourself. Bring your own subject, man. I
was enjoying Funati 3:16 and I'm going nowhere. That's what I say. Funati 3:16 and I'm going nowhere. So I just want to hear you're reading. Look, let me tell you something. You know where I stood with Funati Kofa on your running bus for this position. You know me. I've been open about not trusting him and that he has not earned that. But look, the argument here for me that I'm making is not necessarily that Funati needs to stay. The house is a body of its own. They have their own rules that govern them. My only problem is, are they going to follow their own rules? If they follow their own rules, they can kick Fonati out. Doesn't matter. And the problem there is that they just have to follow their own rules. And look, let me tell you this. All of the counts that got listed against Fonati, they all warrant an investigation. They all warrant a discussion on the House floor. Even if he had divested himself and put it in the blind trust, they have the right to check to make sure that he still is not funneling government business illegally to that place, because he still has a profit in the business. And so they have a right to do that. And the rules does not say that what the problem has to be. They just have to have cost. And I'm sure they can come up with any cost to get rid of him. Look, this money issue, for me, I think Fonati himself would be well not to delve on people getting bribed to vote against him, because he himself, the information is in the news that in order for him to have been voted as senator, he has to how to bribe people. So the scene road I have monkey that hanging baboon. If you bribe your way to the speakership, you can be bribed out of the speakership. By the way, that is Thomas Fala 316. If you bribe your way to the speakership, you can be bribed out of the speakership. My biggest thing is really that these people, we don't have the luxury like like a lot more developed democracies have, to say we can have a dysfunctional House of Representatives for a while. In America, we tried that here without a speaker for a little bit. America's a little bit more, they've had a lot more experience with working on democracy, to put it that way. And so they could function for a little while, but you could tell that people were even apprehensive that we didn't have a speaker here for a while. So now imagine a country like Liberia that is much newer at this democracy game, at this leadership, this new leadership form that we took to Africa. So that is just my biggest worry. And we are going to be at an impasse. I got to wait for tomorrow, because they need 2/3 of the membership. That's 49 people in order for the speaker to be vacated, the speakership to be vacated. They also need 49 to gavel a session. And so all Fonati has to do is to make sure they don't get 49. He will remain a speaker, but he'll be a lame duck speaker. Can't do anything whatsoever, right? He can't host a meeting. He can't do nothing. That comes to affect the executive function, because not everything in governance can be carried out through executive order. There are some things the House have to acquiesce to it. And so that also even stopped the function of the Senate, because certain bills have to originate in the House. And even stuff that coming from the Senate for the House concurrence will not happen if there is not a sitting of the House. And so in either way, I don't see this, if this thing go for a week where Fonati does not have the numbers to gavel in a section, I think he will start to have the pressure on him to resign, because he's not going to be able to hold on to the speakership for more than 2 weeks if he does not have the majority to call a session. Yes, it would still be legal for him to hold it, but there will be a lot more pressure for him to vacate that. I think he needs to work on making sure that he flips it so that he gets 49, that he can call. But I'm still excited at, like I said here the other night, I told you all that the diplomacy had begun, the pressure campaign had begun. And I said, before Fonati comes in the country, let's wait till Tuesday and see how many people will say, and I son. And I got to give it to Fonati and his team. They did a good work. Before he even got to Liberia, people already started dropping on the website. So he's a smart man. He's shown that. He's a very smart man. I got to give that to him. So the only thing that I would say is that I hope his camp doesn't feel like just because he wasn't impeached, that is, because he wasn't removed, that is a good thing. No, it's not. Because as he holds on to power longer and he cannot gavel in a session, even the Americans and the European community will start to think, maybe you got to give it up because you don't have the authority anymore. But I mean, seeing from what he's done so far, I have the confidence that he'll be able to, by Thursday, he'll be able to get more than 49 people to have a session.
Dr. Mali, thank you for joining us. This is the discussion tonight on the table. You can jump in, bring your own what's on your plate. You can have that discussion as well. The floor is yours. 2 minutes, please.
Thank you, Liberal. I think the issue for me, I think the Fanatic Kofa issue is just an item agenda. I'm looking at the holistic picture of the house. Fanatic, he's not a stranger to corruption. You know how you know how he bribed away in that place. So I don't know why he crying foul today. You know what happened in the United States. You know what he did. The records are there. All right. So he's fighting a survival fight right now. But as Sister rightly said, he's already wounded. Even if he succeeds to go through this and that, I mean, I don't know. But I'm looking at the holistic picture of the house. The money they got them making in such a poor country. People are suffering. And the kind of money they got them say they represent.
People are suffering like, bro, you eating on the TV, then you say people are suffering?
See? Yeah, but people eat everywhere anyway. So what we're seeing here is this. I heard you saying, oh, the prayer can help us. In a very top provocative political setting, prayer is far away, oh man. The issue on the ground now is that if you want to go through, a lot of things has to be changed in our country. The constitution has to be changed. A whole lot of things has to be changed. You cannot do this under a normal democratic system. So we would come on the platform, we would talk. It's going to be just like that. Okay, tomorrow Flanting will be gone. Another person will come there. The garden stay benefiting. The people stay suffering. So the question now is, Flanting case is just an item agenda. So he's fighting a survival fight. And he's not stranger to corruption. So his case, to me, is not that exciting.
Thank you. Let's come to you, Jerry. You say you have a bunch of sand you want to put in my gallery. Go ahead.
But here's the thing, Mr. The Speaker, Mr. Kofa, he hanging on spider web. Because you know who they fire when you playing soccer, we know who they fire. They don't fire the players, they fire the coach. That's the coach they fire. They don't fire the players or the other player that you don't playing good. Right now, the Speaker is on last support. He just buying time. It's a matter of time. Because like my dear brother says, as I said, if it go on for 3 weeks, the pressure will start coming up. Look at what happened to Makata in the House of Representatives. Because he was making promise, people were going to go on different committee. He promised to go on different committee. You know what happened? They took him out. But here's an interesting thing I want to say here. These guys who allege about the money business because he brought about the money issue. But now, one of the things I'm concerned here is, where is the Solicitor General? He's supposed to calm the Liberian people down. He's supposed to calm the Liberian people down. Where's the National Security Advisor to the President? Because this is huge, and just if the one to succeed Mr. Okofa. Because if this for a long time, the investor that we're trying to talk about, here's a police issue. Yeah, even the police corruption is still there. Now we got people or the legislature who are taking money, who are bribing people, who are receiving bribe, and it's a disservice to the Liberian people. What I want to do here, if I were the Minister of Justice or the not the candidate attorney, the Solicitor General, who is the chief prosecutor, there should be a statement made to calm the temperature in the Liberian people. Let the Liberian people have confidence, even though the legislature are going through the process, but let them calm the people down. Right now, it's the temperature in Liberia is high.
Okay.
How do we calm these people down?
Thank you. So yes, the answer for your question. This investigation will be carried out in collaboration with relevant institutions, including the Ministry of Justice, the Financial Intelligence Agency, and other integrity body where necessary. That is the statement coming from LAAC. They have already they've got the process started. They're going to start the investigation. So, but that's another subject matter. But let me come back to Sissy here. Sissy, you stated that not everything that the executive will be able to use the executive order to operate or carry out the functionality of the government. Agree with you. But let's look at Liberia now. If this investigation starts, you think if Francis Kofa say he's not going to resign, do you really believe that the international community will pressure Francis Kofa to resign?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead, expand on that.
Because the house will be stalled, and in democratic circles, it would make a lot more sense if somebody does not have the power of his or her colleagues to convince that one person to step down as a leader, than to try to talk to 38 different people that don't have any leaders. As of right now, who is the coup leader? There is not one. So to whom does the international community go to negotiate if there is not a quorum in the house? But the group that is for the status quo have a leader. That's for Nati, right? So it will be a lot easier if Thomas Falau has said, yes, I'm the leader of the coup. Then it's easy to say, okay, now here comes the pressure campaign. Now international communities and the United States or everybody else can say, look, for Thomas Falau, you need to tell your group to back down. But the smart of the coup plotters is that they have not shown who their leader is, right? And so everybody keep talking against the coup plotters as individuals, not as a group under one leadership. So when the former president George Weah speaks, he doesn't speak to one person, right? And so I hear who was it that was speaking? What's his name? Dixon Sibo, Representative Dixon Sibo, saying that I think Thomas Falah got summoned or asked or requested to show up at CDC head office for an inter-party meeting. Well, if Thomas Falah is saying that Fonatu Kofa enjoys his confidence, and we don't see his name on as one of the signatures on there. Do you hold Falah say you're not voting for this person? And as a matter of fact, for me, that's what I'm waiting for to see tomorrow. Tomorrow we will gauge the strength of the CDC, the relevance of President Weah, whether he can be able to bounce back in 2029. That relevance test, that litmus test, starts tomorrow. Because remember, my uncle Tamakoji called an emergency meeting, and he threatened people that if they didn't show up, they were going to be suspended. Well, nobody showed up, and then they rescheduled the emergency meeting. So I guess when you reschedule an emergency meeting, is this the emergency? All right, that's a whole different thing. So for me, I got to wait to see how many of the elected legislators from the CDC will go to their party meeting. How many of them will change tomorrow when Fonatu Kofa appears at the Capitol to gavel in the sitting of the legislature?
Let me ask you the one question that I can go on to Dr. Malley. If the investigation being launched, if it can be proven that these people, while carrying out their legislative process, were involved into bribery, can they be indicted?
Well, that's one of the few things that the Constitution allows for them to be indicted on, even while serving. That's felony. So bribery is a felony, and so if it can be shown, yes, that's a felony. So for me, I think that is for later on. And I will tell you people this: we will not get to that goalpost. We will not get to that goalpost. There is not going to be a finality that holds any one person.
Are you saying this because you think there's a heavy hand behind the money for which if you try to prosecute people, they might be able to name names that might destabilize the government? Is that what you?
That thing I don't like to keep saying that. There's no one person in Liberia that can destabilize Liberia. The last time people say when we get job, we are setting amount of people.
What I mean, I'm not talking about in terms of war, anything.
In terms of anything, no one person or party has their power in Liberia. We just keep living in. People keep dreaming. The last time a lot of people say when we get job, we are setting amount of EPS. They were going to protect him themselves. Wherever went, that fly. If for somewhere later, they say when they try to arrest somebody, Maggie went to the place, only 19 people behind him. No one person has the authority in Liberia. But I will end by saying this. Tomorrow is for, at least for people like us who like to collect data. Tomorrow I'll be watching to see how many people flip over to go to Fonati. How many people are going to listen to the CDC? Is the CDC dividing itself right in our faces with factions belonging to different political leaders? And like George Weah is not the de facto political leader of the CDC. We will see that tomorrow based on how many people switch sides. What if Fonati has the 49 to gavel in? And then I will end by saying, as of 2009, the average salary annually of a congressperson in the United States is $14,500 monthly. So that's $174,000 annually. So $14,500, our people make $500 more per month than these suckers we got in America. They should better go run here in Liberia and win election. Yes, not working for small money.
I think so. They don't change it. I will spend my retirement money on that thing. But let me welcome Terry. Terry, thank you for joining us. We appreciate it. And brothers, no sister here. I just want to announce that Mr. George has been watching. I hope he's still watching. I don't see him, but I hope that he's still watching. Mr. Emma George was watching us. So I'm already welcoming as well. Okay. Let me go, Terry, like I said, welcome and thank you for joining us. Let me go to Dr. Malley. Dr. Malley, let me ask you this. I know you already saying that this thing here, Flantikofa, is not strange to this type of behavior anyway, according to you. Saying that, does that give rise to these kinds of behavior in Liberia, especially in the legislation, to go and try to remove somebody with bribery involved? Is that some sort of a good justification, Dr. Malley?
Well, the answer is no. I don't think any level-headed Liberian, both at home and abroad, will support bribery, systemic corruption, undermine development in that country. But what we're seeing here is that this thing has been around for a very, very long time. And Cesar just came in to say maybe the international community can intervene. I think Liberia is a sovereign state. And the host of the legislature is an independent branch of government. This is the reason why where they sit, even if you put all the laws together out and change the constitution, they can bury it and you will not go anywhere. Okay. And lastly, I don't know. I think this is an allegation. The 15,000 money given, I don't know whether we already have that evidence. I think this is an allegation that the money has been dished out. And I know in Liberia, when allegations start going out, we know it's true. But let's take it for the grain of salt, Libra. We are in court. What is your evidence? We want to see someone presenting this money, someone signing, someone was caught receiving this money, either on camera. So the 15,000 is just another allegation until it's proven. But here is my take. Is the LACC that conducting investigation have the power to investigate the House of Representatives?
Okay, that's a question. Thank you. Let me go to Terry. Terry, thank you for joining us. We're discussing Flantikofa issue. If you have any other stuff on your plate you care to start the program with, that's fine with me. What's on your plate? Do you care to discuss it or you want to join the conversation? Welcome.
Well, you already have a lot on your plate, so all, all all the directions heading your way. So I would like to join the conversation. I think that's the reason I came in. However, I'm looking at it from the lenses wherein if Fonati Kofa refuses to resign and they are 38 or 41, however they say they are, that have not reached 49, the process could just drag on and it will put the government to a hold. And because according to what these guys saying, they're saying that once they have 41 persons, they can have a quorum, which means they can decide, they can run the legislature from their own private decision. I don't know if that is possible. Somebody could educate us on that, but that is what they are saying. So they say they're going to have a quorum and they're going to form their own person to reside, and they can carry on the operation from there. But once Fonati Kofa cannot reach he cannot reach a certain amount of number, like maybe 35% or 36 or so, he Fonati Kofa cannot have a quorum. So will Fonati Kofa allow himself to be beaten by these people? In my opinion, if I were him, I would resign. You know, that is where I'm coming from, because if he do not resign and behave stubborn because his colleagues are telling him not to resign, I think it will not look good for him, and it will not also look good for the country.
Thank you. Jerry, let me come to you. Terry just suggested that, but I was going to ask you this. If Frantic Kofa, which is a good thing to put the country before oneself, which is better, but if he resigns and has so much supporters who put their neck on the line for him, what happened to those supporters in the House of Representatives? Because if he resigns, most likely the deputy speaker will come in, and some of these people are on record, on tape, or wanting to flog the deputy minister at the time. I mean, the deputy speaker at the time. At the time. So what happened to those supporters now if he resigned?
Well, you have no choice but to work with the new or elected or speaker, because that's the rule. If the rule prevails, we might not agree with the with certain issues on their target, but he will person who will have the gavel. So you got to work with him. You might not like him, you might not accept him, but that's a rule. But here's the thing, and important. Even if you don't like him or what's the name, the deputy speaker, he's the elected person. That's the process that what we call democracy. So definitely they got to work with him. But here's the thing I want to talk to Dr. Miller for one reason. He alleged, where's the evidence? Or look, something called probable cause. The probable cause is, I mean, you believe that the person has committed a crime. It doesn't mean you got to prove it beyond reasonable doubt, but you believe that the crime is committed. So therefore, you have a probable cause to arrest that individual. Yeah, the people, through the investigation, all of them on TV, watch it live, receiving money. Some of them admitted on registered car, they drove a registered car, go on the highway receiving money. They parked their car somewhere. They parked their official car, get in a private car to go receive money or to go for bribery. These are all crimes are committed. So I hope the SEC will go through the investigation, but there's a probable cause for them to be arrested. I mean, I believe strongly. I mean, we can go argue on it, but the idea is this guy in the House of Representatives, I mean, there's a crime committed. That's why I said, where's the Attorney General or where's the Solicitor General? Because these are the people who's supposed to be pursuing this thing. But LCC want to take the lead role investigation, so be it. But there is a crime committed. There's a probable cause for somebody to be arrested. Somebody should have been arrested by now.
Thank you. Let me come to Sese quickly. Sese, you stated earlier that we might not even get there. we might not see the case, even whatever investigation might not see the date of court. What gives you that impression? And what are your reasoning that by you saying that?
Patterns. Math. That's what we do. We look at patterns, and then we make conjecture based on the patterns. You see one of my man, you say take the low in the low. You see another of my man, you say take the low in the low. You see the tail of my man, you say take the low in the low. The full of my man, you say I can with certainty guess that full of my man will say take the low in the low. Patterns. So how many? Forget about other crimes. Forget about guns that were brought into the country allegedly to destabilize the country for another Freeport. Forget about all of the deaths. Forget about all of those pieces. And not that I mean that those people don't matter, but I just want to focus on something. Corruption, high crimes and corruption. How many of those have gone to final conclusion, a finality, finish, period? I haven't seen any. Except for when it becomes selective, like the case of Brani Samukai and stuff like that. So I'm saying this to say that this is one of those things that's going to start and they're going to end somewhere as long as the House settles its dispute. Once the House settles its dispute, and however way that settlement looks that Fonati Kofa stays, nobody's going to want to shake that whole thing all over. The LACC doesn't have enough money to do all the 500 other things before they do the other investigation. And by the way, when you call these people to answer, they can send their lawyers. If you don't have, if it's just a questioning, they can send their lawyers on their behalf. They can schedule time. I'm busy right now. I'm in session. They can drill you 500 times before they even come to you one time. So this thing can be dragged on forever legally, right? So that's the first problem. And the second problem is we haven't seen any of these things end up anywhere. And if Fonati Kofa is removed, the incoming person, I guarantee you this, will hear people yelling for 1 week. And after that, everybody will be back in session. These people can't miss their $15,000. They will go right back in session and we'll forget it again. And the Liberian people, as usual, we will rent another space in heaven and we'll be out and we'll go. And go have to put out in outer space, continue again somewhere and pack it there. Because that is how we run things in Liberia. And so I really do believe that these people just got to figure this thing out. And Terry had a point. In order for you to be in quorum, you need a simple majority. But Terry, not anybody can call the sitting of the legislature. That's the problem these other people are having. Because it's either the speaker or when the speaker is absent, the deputy speaker. But the speaker in the country. So unless you remove him, he's the only person that can gavel that authority. So if you're 37 and go meet somewhere, yeah, you get quorum, but quorum for what thing? You don't have anybody to call you into session. So that is one of the problems Thomas Fala had with them. I think they made that mistake on the 15th. There were 20 people show up on the 15th. And Thomas Fala was not happy. And I think we were even saying the sergeant at arms to go find the rest, some people to bring them in for that 37. Because the 49 or the 48, whatever there was, that signed that document that did, that resolution, if they have met anywhere, because the Constitution allows for them to meet anywhere, not just in that place, they would have met in Mamusu, Kosha, Alapabido. And they all 48 of them with the acting speaker, who was the deputy speaker, Gofunati was out. He could have gaveled in a section in the meeting. Now, to have a vote to remove the speaker, they needed 49, but they would have had a meeting. They would have had a sitting. But they were so blinded, they didn't think about that. Had they had one meeting before Fonati came in, gaveled in under the authority of Thomas Fala, this fight would look a little bit different right now. But they weren't looking at that. They were looking at the man got to move today. The man got to go today. So the strategy was not well thought out. You know, so that's my point. The day when I was saying that I don't have faith in this because we haven't seen any investigation on high crimes come to conclusion, and I don't think this is going to be any different.
So let go around the room quickly, and then we can go on a little. Let's take 1 or 2 minutes or so of your time each. Dr. Miller, let's start with you. 1 or 2 minutes. What are you looking for tomorrow from these
Well,
people?
I wanted to address the issue of probable cause, but let's get to what do we expect for tomorrow. If for any reason the Honorable embattled Speaker wants to run or want to stand as president for the future, it will be in his interest to be a hero by resigning now. But if he allowed the process to go through and he's removed, that will jeopardize or paralyze his whole mission to become a president for tomorrow. Because this whole thing here, like Cece said, the new speaker will come in. Before daybreak, they will want to ask him to leave. You see? So my question now is, what is the benefit of changing COFA when the whole corrupt structure is still in place? What the benefit of a new speaker coming in when the whole corrupt structure is still in place? Because it's an issue of COFA dancing a lot with His Excellency President Boakai, and also trying to envisage bringing in an audit, a strange language in the guy's ear for the first time, bringing all of these things. And those are very good things, all right?
Okay.
So what is the guarantee or the benefit that either of this will even bring benefit for the country?
Okay,
so
that would be
honorable
the
man. Yeah, so an honorable man, if he wants to stand tomorrow to run as president, I will advise him to resign.
Thank you. Terry, what are we looking for tomorrow from your perspective?
Well, I'm looking to see whether the lawmakers will retain their stance. If they're saying that they still want to maintain that Fonati do not preside over them, whether they're going to have a quorum and what are they going to be saying in that quorum, that is what I'm going to be looking forward to. I want to see the body languages, whether if something has changed since Fonati have gotten back in the country, whether if there have been talks ongoing, whether if Fonati Kofa can put them under control. I'm looking forward to that. I want to see whether if Fonati himself is going to have a quorum, because he have to raise the number to be able to have a quorum. I want to see that. So it's going to be exciting tomorrow. I don't want to see fighting again. I don't want to see somebody locking door and people causing cause and all the kind of thing. No, I'm not looking forward to see that. So we will be hopeful to expect to see a genuine, responsible legislatures that is going to go, even those that have the complaint, they will channel it the right way. That's what we hope to see.
Thank you. Jerry, same question. What do you hope to see tomorrow? And then we'll go back to Sissy.
Well, I mean, Sissy says something that I wish, I'm concerned about. It doesn't mean it didn't happen in the past or it can't happen at this time. That's one of the things. We have to desist from people will commit crime and they will not prosecute it. I think it's about time for us to start moving forward and see what's going on in our country, especially with the kind of hard magnitude of the issue that are affecting our country right now. But tomorrow, like I said, get your popcorn and get your soda. Let's see what's going to go on. Because there are two branches. In fact, we're going to have three branches of four branches of government now, because the representative going to be divided into two sessions.
Independent representative.
Kofa going to have his own group, and the other people going to have their own group. Let's see how they emerge tomorrow, and see who will be the victor, and see what we call. So it's an interesting issue. I hope that we learn a civil lesson from here, and we get some legislature from here. So there's a good civil lesson we're going to learn from this. What's going on in our country? It's interesting. That's what democracy is all about.
Thank you, Sister. What do you expect tomorrow? Or what are your expectations?
Mr. Bakman, I know you want us to be preaching like prosperity gospel preachers. I am not a preacher. I am a data analyst, and I'll tell you what the data says. You want good feeling, go to church on Sunday. What I'm saying here is based on the data. It has never happened. And as an academic, I can say based on that pattern, I can bet money it's not going to happen. It doesn't mean I'm wishing for it. I'm just telling you analytically it's not going to happen. You want a good feeling, go to church. That's what pastors are for. What I'm looking,
we got 1 year anyway.
What I'm looking forward
as a criminalistic, I believe in the data because
data. So yeah, so then where you coming from to say because it ain't happening, it happened. The data is that you're doing a lot of profiling. You look at this happening this way, then you'll say, oh, maybe there's serial killer, yeah, that white person based on the data. You don't go say, oh, let's not be thinking bad way. Maybe they want to be some kind of black person today. You don't do that. Yeah, but that's what you do. So you want good feeling, go to church. And I do go every Sunday to feel good, but myself, that come out money.
On Sunday. Go ahead, but anyway, go ahead.
Having said that, I'm talking. You look at me, must be close. Having said that, Article 33, the first part of that talks about a simple majority of each house shall constitute a quorum for the transaction of business. And so a simple majority will be 37 tomorrow. But a lower number may adjourn from day to day and compel the attendance of absent members. So if you don't have the quorum, a lower group of people just meaning can't actually compare the attendance of those people outside the state. So I'm going to see this constitutional crisis, their constitutional argument. There's going to be lawyers on every side. I'm grabbing my popcorn. The only thing is, like Terry said, my cousin is back in town. He wasn't there. Somebody was proxying for him, causing the man cause. I don't know if you officially take over that today, tomorrow. Whether there will be plenty of man causing going on. But to the extent that they reduce this thing to a legal argument and to an intellectual argument, we all would be willing to learn from it. Because this thing happened to Tyler, it happened to Snow. We just kept pushing it. I think for now there'll be something. So tomorrow I'll be watching, but I'll also be watching and trying to gauge the strength, the political strength of the CDC and George Weah. Having called their members to fall behind Fonati Kofa, how many of those will fall behind Fonati Kofa? It will be what I'll be looking at for tomorrow.
Okay. Let's go to Terry. Terry, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I can hear you.
When we get this situation settled, hopefully it can be settled tomorrow. Do you think these guys, since they have already put Gary, let me say my Gary already, or put lamb in my teeth already, but I'll still ask this question anyhow. Do you see these people, when everything's settled tomorrow, do you see these people trying to come back and work together, or you think it has broken down so fast that it's not possible to work anymore together?
Well, it is very, very complicated to predict now because, like something this guy said, Mervyn Cole, he said these are politicians. Politicians are politicians. Their statements are always like, you can't trust it. You never know which side they're going to lay. But my fear is, and that's why I wanted to ask you the question, but before I ask you the question, I want to say that my fear is I did not see Fonati's strength when he came. I just saw part of Guna Mene behind him. Oh, hey. I didn't see lawmakers coming forth to present themselves, to say, look, we stand with you. Like the way those guys took pictures.
They may not come with army close business again tonight, with gun behind his back.
You know, that the way those guys stand, even though they have 38, but they stood up and they took pictures, and these guys are willing to reveal themselves. Up to now, I thought Fonati would have recalibrate the base, split the base, have some people with him to show his strength, which he has not done. So I want to believe that he's negotiating. All right? I want to believe he's still negotiating to see how best he can get his buddies on board. But my question to you, Liberal, will be, do you think that Fonati Kofa should resign, or do you think he should retain?
So back in, what was it, 2000, I believe 2010, when we have the leadership meeting, either 2010 or before that, but we have a leadership meeting in Liberty Party USA had a leadership meeting in Las Vegas, 3 days. And when we were there during the 3 days, Flanty was one of those outspoken young men. His belief at the time was, if Ellen them, and this I'm quoting him directly, I'm not even paraphrasing. If Ellen them go in the gutter, we go in the gutter with them. No playing, because Councillor Bronsky at the time was more preaching the Bible and civility and what have you. And Planty was not about that. Planty went to Liberia, became chairman of Liberty Party, and his strategy changed. Planty decided when he came here, we had a conversation on LPR more than 5-6 times. Planty, whenever he comes to America at that time, he will call me and we'll have conversation on Liberia Public Radio. Not the TV now, that time was radio. But most of the thing he was saying at the time is that, Samson, he said, it will be better if we want to succeed as Liberty Party, we have to build coalition. We have to engage each other. It doesn't matter what. So I asked him, I said, I told you, you wanted to go in the gutter. He said, no, those days are over. You can't go in the gutter, because if you go in the gutter with people, you have no resolution and you continue to fight. We want Liberia to be better. So I'm just saying all of these things so you will know where I'm going. Flanty, for me, the way I see him, I think he's engaging. Now, the process now is going to be those that he engaging with. Are they willing to work with him? Or they're going to force his hand to resign? Those are two subject matter. Now, for me, I still say he's not going to resign.
Okay.
And that process.
So even if all the odds are against him for the next 1 week, the stalling of the process, if this guy retains, you don't think he's going to resign?
No. If it go that long, and he looks behind, stable people in the community, people are talking to him as well. There are people who he believes in are talking to him, stay. People start telling him, because he's not in this all by himself. Flanty is the person that consults a lot. I'll give you another secret here, and I'll say this here because it's been too long. I've been holding it. My sister used to work in Liberia. One of the smartest lady working big time in the government. And so when she wanted to move, I'm not going to call ministry. I'll call one ministry. I'll not call where she was coming from. But when she wanted to move from one ministry to another, and this is the reason why today the like of Amara Connor, when I praise him, then I can be thinking. Amara Connor was the minister of finance at the time. And they wanted her because of her ability to really do research and put dollars together and financial and things. Because when she was here, she used to work for big company, 500, whatever they call 5,000, whatever number. What number they have on that system? Is that 500 plus? The big company, what do they call it? 500 or something.
Fortune 500.
Yeah, exactly. She was working, so she's way up there. But anyhow, when they wanted her at the ministry, Amara Connor said the old man don't want her because she used to work for one of the opposition. So she might leak whatever is happening at the finance ministry, leak it out to these people. So when my sister called me, I told Flanty, because Flanty and Amara Connor, they're like this. So Flanty was able to intervene, but we got the word directly from the old man. She said no. So Flanty has always been someone who tried to put people together, but he has the fighting ability within him as well. So I think this is going to be a tough one. If the people behind him, because he consult, they like Amara Connor and all the other people, I'm sure he's talking to them. So if they say stay, he will. But when the time comes, they will tell him, let's look at the future. And then most likely he will leave. But my thing is, you have the like of Marvin Cole and the other people that was visible in this whole struggle. I will call it struggle, by the way. And not the kind of struggle we had back in the days. This is the struggle. Let's leave it as that. What happened if he resigned? What happened to those people? And since it correctly put it, after maybe 2 or 3 weeks, people start working. They can't forget their $15,000. So but for me right now, I just don't see him. But let's go on. Water Carter, thank you for joining us. We appreciate it. As you can see here, nobody talking Tabata. Every one of us was talking about country. We're not praising George Weah. We're praising Dr. We're not praising George Weah. We're praising Baka right now. So if you're not in the process and not ready,
No,
Baka,
nobody.
then
No. Point of
yeah,
correction.
Dr. Mada,
No,
speak
no,
for
no, no.
yourself.
Point
Speak
of
for
correction.
Dr. Mada, speak. Let me mute you. Let me mute you. You come to ruin my day. Speak for yourself. So we're here. I'm trying to warn that young man. You coming to boss my secret? What kind of business? What kind of man here? I'm trying to put fear in so you will start president. President, why you come here and say no, no? Okay, let's leave it at that. Water Carter, good evening. Thank you for joining us. We're talking about Flanty Kofa issue. You have contribution on this one, sir?
Yeah, I've been following this show. First of all, let me say hi to my esteemed colleagues here. Mr. The new independent, Mr. Bako. Yeah, I'd like to say hi. And you're officially welcome on team independent. Yeah. So, but Mr. Tool, I listened to. I think Cecil the one I read part of the Constitution concerning. I think the rules in the House. Um, about the
Article 34, 33.
33, and when the second part that he read, I said I think the speaker, they can invoke people who are not there to come to work or come to section. And looking at the numbers, I think the numbers from the group that oppose Speaker Kofa, the number is shrinking. And if they do not have that number to actually conduct the affairs as far as removing him, they will have to come to work. He will invoke. He's a lawyer. He knows the day-to-day activity of the Senate, the legislature. He will invoke that law that will compel them to come. I do not know the consequence if they refuse to come. I do not know the consequence. I sure they got the rules, and I don't know what they will do to.
You did a sergeant of arms to go and bring them by force.
Yeah, and if they really refuse, because it could lead to commotion and tension or whatever. I don't know what would be the consequence. I should have it in the rules, and I don't think the lawmakers will want to violate that to the extent where it will cause chaos. But look, let me be honest here. These people have to do the Liberian people. It's too much. And for us to just take side with them when they're doing it, if these people were really producing, they were productive, and the kind of thing going on, we can say, okay, we'll sit down and just keep talking about the activity. They are not productive. Let's be honest here. These people have not done nothing in that country to change anything in that country, except for to do worse by the Liberian people. And I think it's about time that we start calling them out. That's why when I called Spoon yesterday or whatever, and he asked me, "Oh, do you want to move or you don't want him to move?" I said, "Yo, whether he move or not, the fact is they have a responsibility to Liberian people to produce. They didn't like them over there to be playing for just getting rich other Liberian people. When you have pop holes all over the country, when you have people are not going to school, our children are out there in the street and selling markets and all that. Look, it is time that we hold people by the throat. We kill 13 people in the poor for rampant corruption. And these people are stealing from our broad daylight. You understand? What addition of 15,000 a year, and then if this allegation is true, what addition of money when you got police who are not taking pay? You understand? What addition that kind of money? So I mean, I want people to investigate LACCs to come in and do an impartial, investigation that will bring the perpetrator to justice and make sure these guys do the Liberian people work. And there's something Liberian people don't know. I don't know. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong. If they do not find the lawmaker doing the work, they could solicit a signature. If we have 10,000 signatures to get them vote on no confidence or move them out of the seat. And I think we should start consulting on Liberian people to do that instead of revolting like want to carry on insurrection. We can use the pen and paper, educate our people. Your sign petition 10,000 people go and move the other senator from office because we want people that will work and give results for Liberian people, not people that will just get money and just walk out.
Thank you. Brilliant. I didn't hear Joy. We are near. Also, that's a brilliant information you just put out here. Thank you. If we keep on like that, we'll keep you on the
Really
show.
love Joy. Yeah, you got a mention.
So let me go to Jerry. Jerry, on a very serious note here. As this thing rolling on and on, we know that it's going to affect assistant corrections today, most likely affect everybody in the country. Do you think Liberians, the voters in Liberia, do they have the mindset to stay with this issue for a long time, or they're going to be exhausted and say, "You let the people do what they want to do, man. You leave the people alone"?
That's a good question. But here's the thing. You see, it's an urban and a rural area. It's only within Morea territorial area. In the Vera County, yeah, it's not hard compared to as it is in Monrovia. You know, because Morea base is always carried a higher weight, and based upon Morea weight, if you go to the Grand Cru, it's very minute. You know, on such a thing. I mean, the radio station, thank God we have radio station on most of the counties now. They can make it, but the effect is always in the urban area. Here's the thing I want to make sure that we talk. I'll bring that to attention. The speaker, it's a matter of time before he will leave, because right now the executive is not saying anything. So after 1 week, like my dear Codis has said, if he stayed there for 1 week or 2 weeks, the executive will start putting pressure on the speaker. They have to take a stand. The executive will take a stand to say, look, the speaker, you need to get your house in order because we have to do the Liberian people business. So the pressure will start coming from the executive as well, or maybe from the Senate. So these are things I hope the speaker will take all these things into consideration. So that's what it is.
Thank you. I want to welcome Sis Esther and Sis Fantoma here joining us this evening again, as usual. Thank you, guys. We appreciate it. Sis, let me come to you. Then we can open the line here. These people, they are out there doing whatever it is that they're doing. You and I was on another platform this afternoon, and many people were calling in. So it's a hot subject in Monrovia. How far you think this thing goes in terms of Liberians' involvement? Is this something that you, just the same question I asked Jerry, but do you think that Liberians going to stay with this thing here to the end? Or you think the fact that Kofa and the rest of the people knows Liberian well, that Liberian would not stay with the thing here? I'll just do whatever I want. They're not going to punish me anyway. You think that's the mindset? And if so, is that something that's going to survive?
What thing now? The investigation or the
investigation, the confusion, the blah blah blah, horrible, whatever.
Look, and this is not just Liberia. This is everywhere else. When's the next election? What, 5 years from now?
Yeah,
that's an eternity in politics.
We're gonna have midterm election. The midterm election is coming.
It's only if we have a vacancy. This is
you don't have any more. You don't have any more election until 2029, Jerry.
This is 5 years is an eternity in politics. It's a long time for people to forget, not just in Liberia, everywhere around the world. Look, I wanted to address something. You know, we all got a good feeling for Liberia. Live with me, Liberia should be one of the best countries on earth. But what ought to be and what is are two different things. And I will apologize to people who don't like the way I say things sometimes, because for me, the way my craziness work is I let the data drive me.
Now you say that I'm you.
I don't want, no, I'm looking at some, I get some inboxes and other stuff. Liberia has always run to the international community for everything. And so when we say the international community is going to bring a pressure campaign, Doesn't mean we don't want things to change in Liberia. The international community bears the pressure campaign on Russia and all other members of the Security Council. You know, that's us who get our budget subsidized by the international community. This way, you want me to sit out here and pretend like we are somehow independent of the international community pressure? That's not what I want, but that's what is, right? And I think one of the things we're doing here is we're creating this problem jambalaya. Last time, I'm making jambalaya the liberal. We're throwing everything into this one pot. The $15,000 these people make is legal money. You and myself might not like it, but it's legal. Nobody will go to jail for making that $15,000 pay because it is legal. The House of Representatives has the right to determine their salary, and they put it in budget, and it gets signed. That is how it is been since the beginning of our republic. That is the law. I hate to quote Musa Ability, but the law is the law. You and myself might not like it. We need to change it. Yes, we need to change it. So why are we conflicting things that we think have not been done legally with things that are illegal? Just because we're mad today, we're going to throw everything in there. The next thing we're going to start talking about Tamakoji carry somebody will throw all I want in there one bucket. No, we are looking at the removal of the speaker. Was it done legally? If not, how else should it be done to be legal? The counts put forward are the counts that are by themselves egregious enough to warrant the removal of the speaker. We can discuss the merits and demerits of those, right? Without coming here to say the speaker they may making 180,000 now. Why would they like, bro? Yeah, election coming. You will not put as a referendum to change the constitution. The poor can't get say they were detour for you will accept it again. But then you want to come when small thing happen, we throw all the things that are tired making problem jambalaya. I'm not making no jambalaya here. The only thing I'm discussing here is the removal of the speaker and what it's going to look like in session tomorrow. Whether they get paid $50,000, they get scratch card. Is it legal? Yeah, I can't fight it. Do I like it? No, I don't like it.
Again, folks, if you're listening, Samson told Liberal Public Radio, sitting on a beautiful, beautiful conversation tonight, as usual, because we are the liberal. I am here with my colleagues who are not liberal themselves, but I am a liberal. We have some strong independent among us. The like of Terry is independent, but the independent Mali, who is way on the other side of the independences of any independent you can talk about. Walter Carter, he says independent, but he's not even undercover. He's independent, but terrorizing sedition. Jerry on the other side, he's straight mind. He speaks his mind. Sissy on the other side, you heard he crazy independent. And he doesn't says that when you show up today, my heart goes straight. I said, hey, the thing we do, we join the people can kick out, they come and kick out now.
You saw how I kept it for last, right? I put my fire in there last minute and I just left it alone.
Yeah, I appreciate that because we're getting ready to get out now when you throw it. But what's his name? John over one. I said, no, let me. But anyway, folks, again, Samson told our brother, give us a call here, 916-533-2048. Let me come to you, Dr. Malley. What, as we're trying to wrap it down now, what do you think should be the responsibility and the involvement, if you think this government, the leadership, the executive, do they have to be involved? And if you think they need to be involved, what type of role you see them playing at all?
You ready to come to me now?
Hey.
I have all right to raise this flag.
Fire protest. I'll call it fire protest with me.
You ready to come to me now? But anyway, let me answer your question out of sympathy.
Uh-oh.
Out of sympathy. Out of sympathy.
So you put in the back room.
Put in the back room. Sympathize with me.
Maybe
Go ahead.
I have forgotten that the CEO is not on board. I have forgotten.
Of course not.
But
Of course
anyway.
not.
But let me throw this to the panelists.
Caller, just hold on 1 minute. Let Dr. Martin finish, then we'll come to you. Just stay on the line. Go ahead, Doc.
Yeah, let me throw this to the panelists. What is the big deal if a corrupt house try to remove and corrupt one of the corrupt member? What's the big deal here?
Thank
Labor?
Yeah, thank you. I'm coming to
Wait on answer that question. Wait on answer that question.
No, I'm coming to answer that question.
There's a secret. No. Listen, you are the mathematician. You are the mathematician. You need to you need to answer. You are the mathematician.
Yeah, here's my question. Here's my
question. Okay, Dr. Mali, just hold on. Let me take the caller quick. Caller, what's your name? Where you're calling from? What's on your mind? Please go ahead.
I'm calling from Chicago, Illinois.
Okay. Oh, I tell you, you're in Texas again.
No, I'm a Texas number. Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, Claire.
Thank you for bringing the topic for tonight. One point I want to bring to your attention, and thank God that Jerry is on the show. There's no who brought it along on the bribery. We listened to the main story to me. That bribery story, it was a legal story. That is not the truth. They said he chartered the car and he had a team of non-local people and they were monitoring it. And they went working together to receive it. He said when you receive the money, when you join for the car, you were running and the people are putting road here. There's no video there. You can remember that CDC building has strategy. That's why they brought up a lot of checks. They brought a lot of checks. They were not proving and they received that for the $5,000 for car. So the guy who brought it along, he brought there's a destruction, particularly attention for the removal of Franchi Copper. But the last one I want to say is Franchi Copper, say as a deputy speaker, speaker preserve on your House of Representatives, they moved the city lawmaker who was serving for lifetime until the time of retirement. For the distance as speaker, what's so important compared to the movement of Kabila Jama? So what going on? What's going on? What's going on? And for that team Copper, don't tell me for that team Copper, you can't do that. You're not doing no good. They're not doing no good.
Okay.
So for that team Copper, it's so important that
okay, let me merge the call so you can wrap it up. Thank you. Hold on 1 minute. I come and get you myself coming to split company tonight because you're a good friend of mine and you're always speaking good thing about me. But tonight, by the go ahead. My Chinese phone getting ready for you, Clarence. Go ahead.
But sometimes when you're not working with an institution, when you see your work, people do their thing. But you are in press, now I can say, now I get to feel a productivity. If you are making the government who can make the productivity over here for Russia, they are making the government to go against it. I don't see a film like that.
Thank you.
I don't see productivity give me a time to be fine. I don't think we should make. But I think you see,
thank you. Thank you. Let's go now. Your ICDC question. Let's go to I number 9. One of the best midfielder ever since our grade left. But for me, he's not a good soccer player because he CDC. He used to good soccer player, but because he CDC took all away soccer talent. Let me bring in go ahead, Aaron, honorable brother. Good evening. Thank you. What's on your mind, sir? Thank you.
I just wanted to weigh in on the discussion you guys having. I'm trying to know on my team side. Yeah, I'm just trying to weigh in on the conversation you guys having. First of all, we got to establish, certain things here with the whole situation. Okay? The first thing we got to establish here is that, we know that people want to speak on shit. There's no doubt about that. So let that sugarcoat that. Okay? We know that. So we know all the people that support Unity Party, they will say everything I don't want to say. I listen to Terry, giving all his analysis, blah, 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 blah. But this is what I want to say. All these counts that these people, complaining about today, where did they know that Speaker Kofa was involved in all these things? In the 9 months, they elected this man into office. Did you just know that the man was involved with all these things recently? And, if we try to shift this stuff from Mr. President Boaka, it's not right. It's not right. You got the same thing that would tell people how, this old man is. Okay? He flew this man on. He invited this man on a trip with his way to Italy. And then his people orchestrated all this stuff behind this man. You see how deep that is? Look, there's serious politics being played. If anything that the executive are not involved in this stuff, they're joking. That's what I want to say. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. CDC, one thing I know about them. They all that put their foot in their mouth. What would President Boaka invite somebody and then let people to cut the foot? But anyway, that CDC, when they are the way they can think, you think say you and then you're not on the same earth. That CDC. But anyway, guys, that's it. Let's try to wrap it up. Let's start with Dr. Malik because he had a mic when we went to the color. Dr. Malik, go ahead, finish up. At the same time, use the opportunity to wrap it for us, please.
Yes, I want to look at some hypothetical case here tonight. There's this saying in Liberia that His Excellency is behind this thing. Okay. Let's assume the Excellency is behind the thing. Why is he going to gain out of this whole thing here? Because at least Kofa, the Honorable Imbato Speaker, he tried his best to dance with him. We can see that. We can see his cooperation. We can see him doing everything to work with His Excellency. All right. So if a highliner is elected from the CDC camp, things will even be more difficult for His Excellency. So I don't want to even buy into that. But here is the issue, Liberal. I think the Imbato Speaker, he has little experience in politics. And why am I saying this? I know he wants to help the country. I know he wants to help lift Liberia up to a certain level. And so he had to work with the executive. But he started exposing the thing too soon. All his contribution, his system, and what he wants to do for the country, all the things are supposed to be behind closed door. Going with the president alone, the mindset in our country is that, oh, the president feeling behind the speaker over. So he shouldn't have even done that. So the man wanted to help the president and to live Liberia, or which of course is a good thing we all support, do it behind closed door. You see? But the notion in Liberia now is that the guy has set out CDC and he working so much hard with His Excellency President Boaka. I learned when President Boaka did not go to work for, I think, 4 days in Liberia there. He was operating from home. Speaker went to see how he was coming on. It became a firestorm in Liberia again. Why the speaker got to go see the president? Actually, I think that's how it's supposed to be. But I think he overstretched this whole thing. And lastly, to conclude, if the embattled speaker succeed tomorrow to win this thing and remain in power, that horse will be divided. There'll be divisive politics, and they're going to undermine him, and they will continue to fight him until they remove him. So that will not be a good victory for him.
Thank you.
And a smart speaker will just resign and maintain his reputation for another battle for tomorrow outside the house.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I hope what's his name? Yeka Koluba is not sick, my people. Because I've not heard him.
Liberal, I'm not cutting you off. I think who said they will send a the guy who get an arm in the house to go bring the people when the speaker called them.
The sergeant arm.
Who the sergeant are going to bring Yeka Koluba to that?
No, but they ain't gotta go for Yeka because Yeka voting for the speaker. So they ain't gotta go for Yeka. Yeka ain't like, bro, by the way, he was at the house. He was at the house today. He went to the house.
Okay, but then you will need more sergeant to go out there.
He
back. He came on, I think, Saturday evening.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
One sergeant I can't go out there.
No, Yeka said he will go bring the man, and he said he'll go bring who's that man?
All right, let me go to Terry. Terry, give us your closing, please.
Yeah, so I want to disagree with Dr. Malice on the issue that, that the speaker overplayed his hand, he did this, that why the people moving him. I don't want to believe that is it. President Weah has 6 years. And guess what? The speaker and the deputy were seditious. So his government sealed. In Liberian politics, once you are from the opposition bloc, you cannot maintain the speakership for 6 years. That is what we have been seeing. So just by Speaker
you come and pull your own data business here now too. We saw snow. We saw you come and pull your data business again. Data business on anything here. Go ahead.
So the man was threatening among sharks, and just what he's saying, Dr. Mali, that's true. If like I said yesterday, when we used to play checker, we would tell our people who say, if you don't die today, you die tomorrow, that the same death. So if they want missing, the trap setting ahead, it will say care. So the speaker, if I were him, the best thing I would do is to resign. CDC should not say because Unity Party is going to clean the house, that means that they will not win election 2029. What happened to Unity Party? CDC had the house. In 2023, they still lost the elections. So, but one thing you must understand is that if you don't give Unity Party this particular seat, they will not stop fighting. And they have the resources to do it. So the best thing you can do for yourself is to recuse yourself, sit down, relax, and let Unity Party flow and see how far they're going to go. This government already have entrapped herself. In as much as I'm a Unity Party man, today I was listening to your show to the Tabata or Royal Benny or George Lobo and his men were just shouting all over the place. They just all over the place talking all kind of Tabata. And I just saw Labor just sitting there looking at it. The guru was just looking at it. So I said, but it was a nice show. We observed, we watched for a little bit, and we moved on there. But however, thank you, Labor, for the show.
Thank you. But I think if the people fool around and Flantikova leave, guess who's coming in? Most ability. He will spend so much money, he will get that speakership, and he will lock them up for real. Let me go to Walter Carter. Walter Carter, go ahead. What's on your last plate here this evening? Wrap it up.
Well, thank you so much. Good analysis. Yeah. I think we are all getting to the understanding where this whole thing gonna fall, right? But the bigger question is in whose interest now, and people shifting blame here and there. And Terry just said something profound, right? Okay, so Unity Party party, there's no way a unity party government can be leading, and then you have an opposition speaker. So it's a pattern. Let's just say believe in data and pattern and all that. So is it because Unity Party want to control the House? That's why they're pushing forward and they're putting the $25,000 up front to bribe other lawmakers to follow them.
How you
And
know?
other
You
lawmakers
see,
who
we've been
also,
good the whole time. We've been good. You closing income. No, but you can't
the
go closing
independence
income
on the
like
floor,
that.
Mr. Toe. Oh my God, Mr. The independence on the floor. Let it just keep
What
going.
independent?
Relax. It'll be all right. Yeah. No, I'm saying, yeah, right? So I'm thinking, because people say, oh, CDC, the one are pushing the 10%, and we are here on a, the other person here on a, and then, yeah, Terry comes with this analysis that make a lot of sense, and Sissy even approve it because he believes in data and a pattern and all that. That Unity Party cannot continue to lead when this with a opposition speaker. So they have to do everything in the might to control the both houses, right? So at that point, it makes me believe that, okay, Unity Party put us some money up to disenchanted seditions, a lawmaker, to sway them, to join them, to remove the speaker.
Thank you.
The investigation.
Thank you.
He said to what kind of sedition? He said
you what?
He said to what kind of sedition? Just to get disenchanted seditions?
In the house, yeah, they in the house there. Because
I agree with that.
Okay, what's the
house?
Thank you.
Honestly,
Thank
in
you.
the house there.
Thank you.
No, but
Can I thank you.
Let me tell you.
No, you landed already. I don't want you to break your foot. I don't want you to break your foot. You landed already.
Mr. Bagan, can you give me 15 seconds?
Go ahead.
You got 15 seconds. Go ahead. My co-host said you got 15 seconds. Go ahead.
No. So on a serious note, this is where we're gonna find ourselves.
Let me bring it on there.
The 15 second choke the
Oh, okay.
And when they fight somebody say start fighting people, then the party can say no, leave me. They finish living
I give
Yeah, I think I like that the Malice analysis, but that the Malice is presuming that Liberia is a normally functioning democracy. How many people have won election on one political party, gone to the house and switched party while in the house because they wanted an assignment on a committee? Just think about that. So, if the speaker keeps his position, guarantee you, people will fall back in line. A lot of people will go and carry the country chicken and go big right back because they need it. Because our politics in Liberia is not about ideology. If it was about ideology, I would say the speaker needs to resign. But if the speaker keeps this fight and he wins, I guarantee you, people will circle the wagon and go right back. And you will start seeing people changing political parties. So for me, like I said, tomorrow, I want to see the disenchanted seditions, the ones that stay enchanted, that stay living in La La Land. We will see how many of those are disenchanted or enchanted that will show up under the gavel of Fonatico for tomorrow. After President, we have been talking to them after the revolutionary mandate to appear at the party headquarters and the party remains supreme. We'll see how many of those people will still be preaching at the camp of Muna Peno Youngblood International University. Having said that, the pattern, Terry and the new, how to call it, independent and reaction say, I believe in patterns. Yeah, data, yeah. But here's one pattern the independent reaction forgot to point out. When speakers are removed, the last speaker that got removed for Unity Party to have their own speaker, when Alex Tyler got removed, who led the removal was the CDC, Akara's Gray. So if we're following that patterns, That means you're leading your own removal again of your own person again. CDC by patterns has the innate ability to always eat a wound. So now you have your $8, you have a Carlos Gray fighting him. Now your guy another man fighting your own Fonati. So it means you're always been having a lot of disenchanted people because they're greedy. Having said that, tomorrow I want to see which of these verses will be written in a legislative religious book. Will it be Fonati 3:16 here and I'm going nowhere? Or will it be the disenchanted CDC, Thomas Fala 3:16, bribery brought you in, bribery will take you out? I will see who will win tomorrow.
Thank you.
Jared,
take us on, please.
It's like today, tomorrow, it's a D-Day because I want to see the position with Unity Party, what they're going to do, and also what CDC going to do, or what Mr. Kofa is going to do tomorrow, because they will determine where we are. For now, I mean, we are doing speculation, and everything will crack in our heads tonight and see what it is. But tomorrow, we'll come out with a good analysis where we are going. We'll see a daylight or there'll be a crack in the party. Whether those are opposed to Mr. Mr. Kofa, whether they will still stand for him, whether there will some people will defect, or maybe Mr. Kofa will lose some people that will stay join the opposition to remove him. So tomorrow we're going to see what's going to be said, and let's see what the executive mansion will say, what they have in opposition on the issues.
All right.
So interesting to see what's going to happen tomorrow.
Thank you. Okay, guys. Thank you very much. We've got this on hour here. I want to thank all of you again tonight. Jerry, thank you. Sissy, thank you. Dr. Malley, thank you. Terry, thank you. Walter Carter, thank you very much as well. We want to say good night to all of you. And let's start now. Sissy, good night. Good night, folks. Okay. Terry. Okay. Again, folks, Samson told Labrador Public Radio. I want to thank all of you again tonight for tuning in to Liberian Public Radio. Thank you for your continued support. We'll be back here again tomorrow. Hopefully, after the interesting, will be a very interesting day tomorrow. After that, many of us will come out here with a different view, and hopefully, Liberia will remain strong. Again, I want to thank all of you, and I will say good night to all of you. Please, let's continue to pray for one another. It's very important. Good night, folks.
Amigo